Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing something that I've been needing to do for about 2 weeks now. As you noticed, as I just backed in my LJ Rubicon, the passenger side taillight is out. So instead of just replacing the bulb, I actually decided to go ahead and order the Quadratec LED light upgrade. Alright, I don't know how well you can see this, but these look very similar to the OEM taillights. And that's one of my big things. I really like products that look almost identical to the original ones, but work better. It's just my own personal preference. So we're gonna get a Phillips screwdriver and start disassembling the OEM taillight. Ooh, that's stuck. It doesn't want to come out. And there is the culprit. You can actually tell that the bulb is burnt out. Now, you could easily replace this bulb and this would go back to working. Again, I just like how much brighter the LEDs are, specifically the reverse lights. I think that's actually my favorite thing. I live out in the country, so we don't have a lot of illumination at night on the streets. So there are times I'm backing up my driveway, and if it's foggy or something, it's almost like I have no illumination when I'm backing up, and it's very difficult to see. Alright, now we need to remove the taillight housing assembly itself, and it's just 3 bolts, and I believe it is a 3/8. Why it's not metric, I don't know, but if memory serves, it is 3/8. I did bring a 10mm just in case. It is 3/8. It's obvious I was playing in the mud this past weekend. That's how it always goes. Now, it does look like it has some foam on it. I think we are going to have to remove part of the foam just so we can disconnect this connector. Actually, that came out fairly quickly. That's awesome. Now we actually need to remove the lens off of the new LED assembly so we can mount the housing itself to the body of our Wrangler. The other thing about doing this is you don't want to really cinch down on any of this. You really just kind of want it nice and a little bit snug, and everything will work out just fine. Now first you want to plug in the new housing into the original wiring connector, and then you want to just feed that in there. And then you want to line up the holes that are on the taillight housing assembly to the holes that are on the body of your Wrangler. The other trick I will tell you is put a good couple of turns on the first bolt you install, but then go ahead and start the other 2 bolts, so that way when you tighten them, you know everything is lined up properly. It's always kind of annoying to have to undo a bolt that you had already fastened. Again, you're not really trying to put a lot of tension on these when you're reinstalling the bolts. You want just enough on it that it's really held in place, but the second you feel kind of a good amount of resistance, it's on tight enough. I like to do it where I take a 1/4 inch socket wrench and I use it like this, and when I start feeling resistance turning it like this, I know it's tight enough. Because if you do it out here, you're actually going to be applying more torque to it. Again, this doesn't require a ton of torque to be held in place. Alright, with the passenger side down, we are now moving to the driver's side. I'm going to do it real quick because the process is exactly the same. Alright, let's test it out. Oh, very nice. It illuminates my license plate very well, and they both work. Alright, to To install this LED light control module, we need to remove this plastic housing from around our steering column, and to do that, we need to remove 2 Phillips screws from this port here and this port here. And there it is. It's actually a pretty long screw. Now, the easiest way is to lower this, and I think this also is kind of clipped into place. Actually, you need to leave that latch down. And there's just these 2 tabs, and you actually have to get it around your ignition keyhole, and then it comes off. And then with this down, you can pull the top one clear off. All right, now I'm going to move the camera again. This is your factory light control module. So undo it, you just need to wiggle it and pull it straight out backwards. Now, I like pulling it out like this so I know the reference. Notice how this blade is keyed and turned from a different direction as these, or you could say this one, but I think of this one as turned differently because these have their sides facing out, where this one is perpendicular to the edge. So we just need to remember that this is the orientation and how that goes. So remembering how it was keyed, this blade faces down, and you just install and you just push it in. All right, so the way you want to test this is put your Jeep into run, but don't turn it on, and you should be able to hit the turn signal. Now that we know it's working, we can go ahead and reinstall this top panel. All right, since we don't have to mess with that side again, is reinstall the bottom piece and reinstall the 2 Phillips head screws to complete the assembly of the LED light control module. So off, on. Yep, that works. Now we're going to check reverse. With the reverse lights on, the brake lights come on. That's perfect. All right, everyone, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is one of those things that I mentioned in my last video where I needed to just do a little bit of maintenance and minor upgrades to my LJ. I've got a couple other things like that coming along that I'm excited to share with y'all, but this is just gonna really improve my driving experience with the LJ, especially at night. The most difficult thing for me with my LJ was backing up. I just was not able to see very well with the OEM lights, and these are much brighter than the original. So anyway, it's YouTube. You know what to do. Take out more than you bring, tread lightly, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.